Hey everyone, Shabbymania here and welcome to part number 2 of Shabbymania Carnage. I've completely forgot what we were doing there for a second. We're going to kick things off then with the Tag Team Championship match. We have got your challengers right here, the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon, taking on, of course, our current Tag Team Champions here from Carnage, Sanity. Now, of course, Sanity we know are confirmed for WWE 2K18, so they're also completely confirmed for SWE as well. Dudley Boys, however, have not made it into WWE 2K18. I would imagine we're definitely going to use them anyway, but it's all down to finding a decent set of cores. I'm not going to bring people in if they look awful. We will have them as part of our draft, I should imagine. Dudley's will be part of that draft, but we will not bring them in until we find a very good version of them. And that's going to be the same with everyone, really. I'm going to be a little bit anal with that. I want to find decent versions of everyone that we have on our roster list. As I've said before, the draft currently for 2K18 is looking like roughly, well, I think I worked it out roughly 273 male wrestlers and 65 female wrestlers. I think that's what I've got it worked out at the moment. So it could go up a little bit, it could go down a little bit, who knows. But that's what it looks like is planned at the moment, which should work out around about 60 to 70 male. And I think it's 10 to 12 female wrestlers for each roster. That's the plan anyway. So the female wrestlers are going to be twice as big as they are this year, which is really good actually. I've got some real good plans. It's all down again to, well, we've got 30 women I think on 2K18 anyway, so we'll have a base of 30 to get us going. So that'd be 6 each brand I would imagine. And then on top of that we've got all of the created ones. Now the created ones I'm looking at are people such as, well, quite a lot of the people actually who were in the Mae Young Classic, so the likes of your Alpha Female, for example, Toni Storm, Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler, Piper Niven, Kaylee Ray. A lot of those sort of people are the ones that I'm looking for to try and bring into SWE for 2K18. And hopefully it's going to really strengthen our female roster. And we can do a bit more of female stuff in this one. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm hoping that SW will give something for everyone. I know there are people out there that do want to see a lot of women's matches, so forth. So I think what we will probably have is a proper Queen of SWE style tournament at some point. We'll also do, of course, we've got the male version, the King of the SWE. I'm hoping if tag team matches work, we could do a tag team tournament next year. We're going to have deathmatch style tournament. We're going to have, hopefully, a strong style tournament. We're going to have a little bit of everything, trying to tickle everyone's fancy throughout the whole of 2K18. But, of course, the best thing about this is we didn't start SWE officially till around about, was it February, March this year even? So we started it about sort of 6 months into the release of the game. But this year, we're going to be starting it, hopefully, well, the draft is going to hopefully go up within 24 hours of the early release date. So we're looking at next Saturday, or next Friday, I think, actually. Next Friday, we're looking to get the draft uploaded for you guys. And then we will hopefully start with the shows that week as well. Of course, it might take me a little bit longer to set up the shows because I'm going to need a bit of time to set up the arenas and so forth, set up the championships, try and get everyone on the right rosters, try and get people downloaded for the right roster. So it might take a little bit of time to get ready, but hopefully it won't be a problem. Hopefully we can get everything sorted as soon as possible. Right, enough blabbering about the future. Let's have a look at the present. We currently have Sanity here, Sawyer Fulton, Alexander Wolf, your current Carnage Tag Team Champions, defending against the Dudley Boyz, your current challengers as well. Now, of course, the winners of this will be guaranteed a place on the roster for WWE 2K18 for Carnage. And the losers will fall into the draft. Like I said, I should imagine both these teams will be on the game anyway. So, well, be it through, well, we know Sanity are definitely on there anyway, but be it through that or be it through the core list, I should imagine both of these teams will be available anyway. So, it's not a major problem. Not a major problem at all, but I'm looking forward to this one. And of course, it's all down to just guaranteeing yourself a place. I feel like both these teams suit Carnage. They both might end up on Carnage anyway, but I think it's gonna be an interesting one. It's gonna be once we know certain things and we can start to plan the future. I think it's gonna be pretty cool because I think we got some pretty cool ideas in the future as well for certain feuds and so forth we can do on certain brands if certain people end up there. So once we know the winner of this one, then of course we've just got the 5 Rumbles left, which are coming up for you, hopefully starting this weekend. This video went up a little bit later than I hoped. So it probably I'm looking to hopefully get the Rumbles up over the weekend, start them off anyway. I'm not sure whether to upload one a day like I originally planned, or try and upload more Rumbles over the weekend. I'm not 100% sure yet. It depends on time that I've got to record, I suppose, but we'll definitely have the first 2 over the weekend, I should imagine. So I believe that's Mayhem and Octane, definitely over the weekend. And what is Alexander Wolf done? He's just stuck walking into the back of Bubba Ray, but Wolf now taking Bubba Ray up and slamming him into the ground. As Alexander Wolf now just twisting the head of Bubba Ray Dudley. And Alexander Wolf just gator rolling Bubba Ray around the ring. And again, just roll him around, and it's interesting here to see just how much Alexander Wolf is in control of this match. Of course, Bubba Ray Dudley, the much more experienced member of this match, and there he goes, catching Alexander Wolf with that sneaky knee in the face. We've got some very interesting additions actually to the roster, going back to 2K18. We might have a few people that are going to surprise you as well, actually. Some ones that have never been in SWE before. Some people that people might not even realise or know, because we all have our own stuff, of course. There's a lot of independent wrestling companies, especially across America. There's a lot of independent wrestling companies, and there's quite a lot of companies that people watch that I don't, and vice versa. There's probably quite a lot of companies that I watch that other people don't, and you get used to other types of wrestlers being around, and with being from the UK market, there's a lot more UK influence to some of my wrestlers that I picked, but it's going to be pretty cool actually. I'm looking forward to showcasing some of the ideas that myself and PJ Tovey have got, and it's going to be, hopefully the new game is going to be of a better quality, a better AI quality, so that we can start to put out some better shows again, because I've got really frustrated with this game recently about some of the poor aspects of the AI and so forth. This is actually my 3rd attempt to sit down and record this video, because the last 2 times it's just gone completely haywire, the whole game. So yeah, we're looking good here finally. As Bubba Ray now comes along and brings in his brother Devon. Devon sending Wolf off the ropes and went for that running back elbow, sort of like a signature maneuver for Devon. They were seeming to use that many times over the history, but he got caught out there. There's a neck break by Alexander Wolf. Alexander Wolf now taking Devon up into a Styles Clash. Rolls him over now for the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Devon kicks out. Wow. Craziness. Here comes Sawyer Fulton. Is he going to go for the pin as well? He does go for a pin. Bam! Wyatt, a strong right hand right to the side of the face of Devon Dudley. And a big kick in the back of Devon by Sawyer Fulton as well. Fulton now. It's been a very much a again, like I said earlier on, it's been a match that Sanity very much controlled up until this point. It's an odd one because, like I said, you would probably suggest that that Dudley Boyz were the more experienced. Of course, they are in control of the match now, just as I'm trying to say about how I thought they should be in control. But then again, you see Sawyer Fulton there turning it back around again. It's interesting the way that it's panning out at the moment. It really is. Oh, a big knee strike right in the face of Devon Dudley. I think he's been busted open by that. You see him reaching up at his head. Devon fighting back for a big right hand, and now looking for that reverse. There it is, the reverse Bloody Sunday. Eric Young actually up on the apron there, distracting the referee, playing around with the top turnbuckle pad, but it was basically he did it too early there, Eric Young. There's the pin, 1, 2, and Fulton kicks out of what I believe may have been Devon Dudley's finisher maneuver there. Bubba Ray here with a pin on Sawyer Fulton as well. Once again, only a 2. Bubba here just pinching away at the shoulder, just compressing that nerve in the shoulder. So Fulton now, he's going to go for the same move. He does. He goes for the same move that Devon just hit him with earlier on. That reverse Bloody Sunday. Big boot in the gut of Bubba Raven, and Alexander Wolf being brought back into the ring. Wolf dragging Bubba across. There's the pin. Oh, he's got his feet up on the ropes. The referee's not seen it. 2. And the referee's hand was quite clearly on the mat there for 3. We all saw the referee's hand on the mat there for 3. That was shocking. That was absolutely shocking refereeing. Oh, it's always the way, isn't it? Always the freaking way. Alexander Wolf now willing Bubba back up to his feet. It's not like Alexander Wolf to go high risk here, but springboard dropkick beautifully executed. And Sanity still just really in control of this one. Big kick in the spine of Bubba Ray. Wolf brings him up onto his shoulders. What's he looking for here? Big backbreaker. Alexander Wolf taunted away at the crowd, and Sanity look like they could be a dominant set of tag team champions here moving forward. And there's the Indian Deathlock locked in there by Alexander Wolf. Sawyer Fulton can't knock Devon off the apron, but does take him up and drops him in an atomic drop. But Bubba Ray does fight free. Alexander Wolf now taking Bubba up, looking once again for that Styles Clash and hits it. Rolls him over for the pin. Devon just left the ring. Why can't they knock people? Oh my god, for God's sake, Sawyer Fulton. I hate this game so much, you know, I really do. I hate this game so freaking much. It's so annoying, isn't it? Just, they're about to win the match. They just hit his finisher maneuver, and his tag team partner broke up the pin. It just, none of it makes any sense whatsoever. Hopefully Sawyer Fulton can do some good work here. Nice powerbomb there by Fulton. There's the pin. 1, 2, and that's enough. Wow. It was helped by poor AI, but Sanity have retained the tag team championships here in Carnage. And there we go. I'm marking that on my sheet. Sanity, your tag team champions, which means that we now know that Alexander Wolf, Sawyer Fulton will be on a Carnage next year with the tag team championships. We also know that includes then Eric Young. We also know it includes Killian Dane. And it also includes, of course, Nikki Cross. So we now know that both Nikki Cross and Rosemary will both be part of the Carnage roster next year. And we could see a rematch of the match we saw in the first part of the video. So there we go. It wasn't the smoothest match in the world, but like I said, tag team matches on 2K18 have not been fantastic. But I think that we do have a hopeful upgrade for 2K18 in the tag. I think the tag team matches that they definitely have worked on, which is why we're going to have 8-man tag matches all of a sudden. And if they have, like I said, I would love to do a tag team tournament. I would love to do so many different things. I'd love to do a 6-man tournament. King of the Trios would be amazing. But I just don't know if we're going to get the chance to do it. That's the way. That is the worry at the moment. Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens moving forward. But here we go. We do have, like I said, tag team champions, Carnage, Sanity, in their first championship defense were able to keep a hold of the belts, which is impressive because not a lot of people have been able to do that so far in this universe mode, have they? There we go. And here is our next match of the evening. It's going to be Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn. And this is going to be a tables match. And here we go then with the next match. This was originally supposed to be a TLC match, but, you know, things happen. Yeah. It didn't go too well, did it really? Basically, a TLC match. I like the idea of a TLC match, but I wanted it to win by pinfall or submission because one-on-one TLC match Fatal 4 would have been fine, but TLC one-on-one is a bit difficult because it just doesn't. When you're one-on-one in a TLC match in this game, there's not a lot of. You stay down for too long basically, and it means people can climb the ladder quite easily. And when there's only 2 people in the ring, it means that it finishes a lot quicker. When there's 2, 3, 4, 5 people, it's not a major problem because it's less people. There's less people that can be down at once, so it's more people that can knock the ladder over and so forth and defend it. So it takes a while. But one-on-one matches in this game, ladder matches have never been absolutely spot on. But this is a tables match. It's a bit better, I think. It's an easier way of doing it for us. I'm looking forward to this one. Of course, Jerry Lynn, RVD, 2 guys who over the years have forged many friendships and many fantastic enemies as well. I messed up my uploads. Was I supposed to upload a FIFA yesterday? So I've just realised, I just looked at my schedule. I'm running a bit behind on my schedule the last few days. I've struggled a bit, I must admit. I think now, knowing that 2K18 comes out so soon, I'm struggling at the moment to keep my motivation, because this game frustrates me, and it's frustrated me a lot more now that I know that in another week's time we're going to be done. But you know, it's fine. We're getting there. So of course, tables matches means the first person to put their opponent through a table will get the victory. Now, of course, if you go through a table by your own volition, or whichever that word is, then it does not count. So basically, if you put your opponent on a table, then jump off to try and put them through the table. If they roll out the way, then you go through the table. That does not count. It only counts if they physically put you through the table. So it looks like both RVD and Jerry Lynn looking to get themselves a table. Yep, Jerry Lynn's in the ring with a table. RVD has a table himself now. Jerry Lynn's going to set his table up. And he's going to go for it early here by the looks of it. Now he's got the front chancery locked in now. Jerry Lynn throwing RVD into the ropes, but RVD brings him back with the arm drag takedown. Jerry Lynn throwing RVD into the table. Surely there's no chance he's going to put him through it already. Slamming him face first on that table. I am the table. Jerry Lynn's really going for it now, isn't he? Just slamming RVD off that table over and over again. Of course, actual wrestling tables, we would have probably gone through it by now. Nice shin breaker, and holds onto the leg into a dragon screw, and... okay, well that's not gone very well, has it? I'll tell you what, I think that counts as a Jerry Lynn victory, which I can't understand how. Can we see a replay of this? I want to see a replay of how this is a Jerry Lynn victory. Because I think Jerry Lynn went through the table himself. You know what? We're not gonna accept that. That was too much of a grey area for me. I think that Jerry Lynn put himself through the table there rather than putting Rob Van Dam through. So we are going to restart this match. We're not going to allow it to finish like that. I'm sorry, the referee has called this one completely wrong. We're restarting the match. And yes, we're going to go for it. We're going to go for it. We're going to restart the match. I'm not happy with Jerry Lynn winning that one like that. I feel like that was a very dodgy finish, and he's utilised the game mechanics against us there. So we're going to kick things back off again. Yeah, it's frustrating the way these mini-games work in games. That was just dodgy as hell, because I'm sure Jerry Lynn he was the one who went through the table, Jerry Lynn. I'm sure he was. But we're going again now, though. If we have to make it a best 2 out of 3, that's what we'll do. But so I can't really call that a best 2 out of 3, because in my opinion, I don't think RVD went through that table. Jerry Lynn was the one who went through the table. Even though he went through the table while doing a move to RVD, he still was the one who went through the table. So essentially, in my opinion, that match didn't end. Referees completely miscalled that. So Jerry Lynn now putting the table into the corner. RVD sending Jerry Lynn into the corner as well with the table. And a big chop. Jerry Lynn dropping to the ground. RVD stalking. What's he going to go for here? Up into the middle rope. He stays up there as Jerry slowly gets back up to his feet. Nice drop kick there by Rob Van Dam. A stamp on the back as well. As RVD looking. Oh, he goes for the handspring standing moonsault. Nice, nice. Julian sending Rob Van Dam into the table. RVD fighting back and sending Jerry Lynn now face first in the table. Big chop there by RVD. Jerry Lynn technically went through the table there. His head glitched through it. We're not going to count that though. Jerry Lynn now sending RVD into the table again. Big chop. Springboard crossbody there by Jerry Lynn on Rob Van Dam. Running double axe handle there by Jerry Lynn on RVD as well. Dropping a boot right in the knee. RVD bringing Jerry Lynn back up to his feet. Into the table. Now, can RVD put Jerry through the table? Does he have... Oh, maybe not. He just chopped him and he fell over. I was going to say, does he have the maneuvers in his arsenal to hit it this early on? As RVD now springboard dropkick. Beautiful move. And RVD is slowly taking control of this match. He was running out a little bit earlier on, but now he seems to have taken control again. RVD, big boots in the face. And RVD sort of taunting the crowd here. Maybe not the wisest move. Of course, he needs to make sure that he is going to get the victory here. So, messing around is probably the best thing to do. He needs to stay on top of him here. And as you see, Jerry Lynn turn the match around. It's that easy to do. RVD fighting back then. RVD actually turns it back around. So, maybe shortchanged RVD a little bit there. We need to go for like a running spear through the table or something like that. Because it's a little bit pointless just chopping him. Because chopping him's not really going to put him in for a table, is it really? Oh, and Jerry Lynn's put him through the table. The sit-out powerbomb through the table in the corner. And Jerry Lynn once again putting... I can't blame Jerry Lynn for that one. I can't say he didn't do that right because he did. And RVD controlled a large portion of that match, but Jerry Lynn was able to pull off the victory. And that was impressive, actually. That was really impressive because for me, I thought RVD had this one, to be honest. And then all of a sudden, Jerry Lynn came out with this sit-out powerbomb. He's... got chopped a few times in that corner. And there you go, the sit-out powerbomb. We only caught the end of it there. That wasn't fantastic, was it? But we caught the end of it, and it is Jerry Lynn who gets the victory again. Technically, I suppose. I'm still not classing the first one, but again, he managed to put him through the table. There we go. And Jerry Lynn is victorious. Of course, remember that all matches at the pay-per-view are worth triple ranking points. So this is 15 points for Jerry Lynn, which might help him out getting involved in the new championship we've got coming in 2K18. And here we go then, here is our next match of the evening. As promised, it is going to be Cactus Jack versus Terry Funk. This has been a sort of an ongoing thing with Terry Funk and Cactus Jack since the beginning of Carnage. Funk issued out his open challenge, and it was cashed in by Mick Foley first, and Funk won. Then it was cashed in by Dude Love, and Funk won. Then it was cashed in by Mankind, and Mankind got the victory. And then it was cashed in by Cactus Jack, and Cactus picked up the victory. Which means these two guys are currently 2-2 in their little ongoing feud. And the feud itself is more... It's more sort of like a friendly sort of feud between two people that's more down to... What's the best way of putting it? Friendly rivalry. It's more of a bit of camaraderie between these two. I'm looking forward to it, actually. It's going to be an interesting one. Of course, it is no DQ. Oh, wow. Hang on a minute. Funk here showing that two can play at that game. It looks like Terry Funk has not turned up here this evening. We do actually have for you Chainsaw Charlie. Of course, one of Terry Funk's alter ego, that's the word I'm looking for, over the years. Chainsaw Charlie. Spent a bit of time over in Japan, of course, and also a little bit of time in WWE as well. Interesting here by Terry Funk then, turning up as one of his alter egos, showing that it's not all about Mick Foley's several faces, that Chainsaw Charlie's got many faces himself. And here we go. What will this change do to the psyche of Cactus Jack? Will it influence him at all? Or is he fully suited and ready for this? That's the question. At the moment, it is Chainsaw Charlie who's taken some of the early offense. I don't even get wrestling figures of Chainsaw Charlie. Yeah. Deluxe Classic Edition, Chainsaw Charlie. Wow. Did not know that you can get wrestling figures of Chainsaw Charlie. Cactus and Chainsaw versus the New Age Outlaws at WrestleMania for the Tag Team Championships. That was a match and a half, that was. That was a real good match, that was. So, remember, no disqualifications, no countouts, but pinfalls and submissions must take place within the confines of the ring. Maybe these two could team up a little bit together on 2K18. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I don't know. We're gonna have a lot of tag teams, so I think I've sort of penciled in a couple of drafted rosters for Carnage. Of course, like I said, Carnage is the only brand that's gonna have a predetermined roster. Myself and PJ Toby will agree a specific Carnage roster. And then we will draft the other 4 brands with the people that are left. And as I said, that's mainly because Carnage is more of our ECW style brand, more of our Lucha Underground style, more that sort of high-flying, hardcore style of brand. And obviously, if it had a draft, it would lose its identity. So we want to make sure we've got the right people on this brand to keep it as it should be, keeping it pure. As Cactus Jack here making his way up to the top rope, is he going to go for a big dive from there? He is. Oh, look at that big elbow drop right to the heart of Chainsaw Charlie. That's got to do a lot of damage to Cactus as well. Landing flat on your back from that height is going to be painful. No doubt about that. It's going to be painful. And Cactus is in full control in this one. Cactus now bringing Chainsaw Charlie back in the ring. Chainsaw Charlie's not had much luck here. He's not turned it around like he hoped that his alter ego might be able to. Nice running net breaker by Chainsaw Charlie. It's a shame. It would have been nice to give him the chainsaw entrance, wouldn't it? But the chainsaw entrance only exists for champions. So it's a bit. We would have had to give him a belt for him to have that chainsaw entrance. Which, in fairness, we don't. The chainsaw entrance is a weird one, isn't it? Really, because it was just a championship entrance for Finn Balor. And as much as it's a really cool entrance, at the same time, you've got to remember that Finn Balor only did the entrance once. Only once, and that was during Takeover London, wasn't it? Nice snapmare by Chainsaw Charlie and a big knee in the spine. And Chainsaw Charlie is now turning around a little bit. He struggled early doors in this match, but seems to be more control now. So remember, we have 2 more matches left for you after this one here this evening. Next up, we've got two really interesting matches, actually. The first one is going to be a match between 2 guys that have not only been wrestlers, but also dabbled in the UFC market as well. Of course, Minuro Suzuki taking on Ken Shamrock. And then your main event of the evening, Braun Strowman defends the Carnage Championship against Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt saying that he was the man who brought Braun Strowman, the monster, into existence. And he can be the man that takes him out of existence as well. Can Bray Wyatt follow up on his words? Or is Braun Strowman a monster that has just gone too far and become too powerful on his own? A monster it may take an entire family to bring down at some point. Cactus Jack catching Chainsaw Charlie into the pile driver. 1, 2, and 3. And Cactus Jack picks up the victory here at Shabbymania against Chainsaw Charlie. Extreme Rules weapons were utilised a little bit, but there were some big moves. That big dive from Cactus to the outside, the diving elbow drop to the heart of Chainsaw Charlie, for me was one of the big changes in this match. It was difficult for him to really get back into it. What a good win this was for Cactus Jack. He's going to get the points, which means that moving into SWE 2K18, we are going to see Cactus with some more ranking points. He's going to be an extra 15 onto what he's currently got. It's been a little bit up and down for him recently because obviously with the... where's my blogger? There it is. With obviously losing a couple of matches before gaining the wins as well. Cactus is currently on... Where are you, Mr. Cactus? Cactus Jack. I can't find you on my list. I know you're there somewhere. Where is Cactus Jack? There he is. 90. See, he was on 95, so that's going to put him up to 110 now, which is going to move him up a good sort of 15 places in the rankings. So that was a very important win for him. And here's our next match. Then, as I just said, it is going to be Minuro Suzuki taking on Ken Shamrock. And here we go then, a UFC clinic, probably on the books here. Like I said, two guys who have contributed a lot to the wrestling world as well as UFC. I think maybe Suzuki contributed more to the wrestling world. I think he's gone on for quite some time in wrestling while doing UFC on the side. Of course, Ken Shamrock left wrestling to do UFC, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, I think he was one of the original guys in UFC, I believe. Yeah, I think so. This should be a very interesting match, really back and forth, and I won't surprise me if we see a lot of holds, a lot of that sort of stuff. I think that's going to be the way it's going to go, I think. We'll see a lot of holds, I think. A lot of submissions, a lot of strikes probably as well. I think both these guys are real strikers of each other, real hard hitters. And here he comes in, Ken Shamrock. Not had a lot of opportunities so far in Carnage. This is a good chance for him to show exactly what he can do. Got a pop-up right in the middle of my screen. That's annoying. What is it? I've got no idea what that is. It's trying to sell me something. God knows what it is. Right, I'm back. I can see what I'm doing now. Ken Shamrock in the ring. This is an interesting one. I wanted this match for quite some time, and I thought, no, we'll save it for Shabbymania, because this could be very interesting. So here we go then. Ken Shamrock versus Minuro Suzuki. The bell goes, and we are underway. And like I said, Shamrock straight away going for the suplex on the leg breaker or the shin breaker, then into a dragon screw in there. He is working straight away on the body parts, because Ken Shamrock liking to utilize a ankle lock as a finisher maneuver. So weakening that leg early on is going to be very advantageous for him. Shamrock slamming the back of Suzuki's head into the mat, and now stamping on the arm as well. Suzuki catching Shamrock with a big knee in the face. Stomping on the arm of Shamrock as well, and Suzuki bringing Shamrock back up, and more boots right in the face, and Shamrock, the last one, sending Shamrock right up in the air. Suzuki up on the middle rope, taunting, but it's allowed Shamrock to get back up to his feet and take control back in this match. And that's the dodgy thing. You don't want to be caught out like that. And here we go, Shamrock looking for that Indian Deathlock, locks it in. Oh, but Suzuki fighting back. And that's the difficult thing with that submission hold. You put yourself in such a weird position, really, don't you? With having your head so close to your opponent, you can get caught out with an absolute duke of a right hand. And that's exactly what happened there. And now this is a prequel, because as I've said before, we would like to potentially in SWE have a UFC style tournament, have a sort of a, yeah, that sort of thing, which I think could be pretty cool. It's an idea that PJ Tovey came up with. I'm not going to steal it. It was his idea, and it would be pretty interesting. Now, a lot of it would depend on what we can do in 2K18 with the match types. I would love to be able to create a match type where you can win by knockout or submission, and you were inside a steel cage. Maybe if not, then we'll just do a full submission tournament. Maybe that could be a good way of doing it. But then again, not everyone uses submission. That's the thing. These two guys do. Who else would be in there though? Jack Gallagher, believe it or not, has done UFC in the past. Brock Lesnar, he could do submission if we change his finishing maneuver, give him a Kimura lock, and oh, sorry, just whacking the microphone there by mistake. My apologies. Yeah, of course, both these guys. It could be an interesting little thing we could go ahead with. Bobby Lashley, maybe. Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio. I didn't do it right, did I? Knee right in the spine of Suzuki there by Ken Shamrock. And Shamrock bringing Suzuki back up. But Suzuki fighting back. Big knee strike in the face. And it makes you wonder how long this match is going to last. Because both these guys, being as resilient as they are, they're both very, very strong. And if they could catch the other one with a strong right hand or some of them sort of lines, you can knock your opponent out that easily. Referees count them up, then they're up to a 3 count. Referees up to a 5. Nice dragon suplex there by Ken Shamrock on Minuro. Suzuki dropping a knee right in the side of the face of Suzuki as well. You know what? I'm surprised, you know. I've been uploading these all week. This is the last part, and no one has taken the mickey out of the ring yet. I was expecting 1 or 2. I don't know why. Thing is, I don't mind it so much, the ring. I think it was, whenever I create... Ooh, nice reverse dragon sleeper there by Ken Shamrock. Whenever I create an arena, I never like it. It takes me a little bit of time to get into it. And I think this one I've quite enjoyed, actually. Boot in the guts. Suzuki rolling Shamrock over, dropping a knee right in the spine. Suzuki dropping a boot right in the back of Ken Shamrock. And now again, just that headlock. And that may look like he's being cocky there in that situation, but it does create more pressure, having your entire body weight going through that lock. Went for another boot in the back of Shamrock, but Shamrock avoided it. Shamrock belly to belly slam on Suzuki. Dropping a leg drop as well on Suzuki. A knee right in the spine of Suzuki as well. And Shamrock starting to turn the screw a bit, but there we go. Suzuki fighting back. And it's the thing, you just got to stay on top of your opponent. That's not an easy thing to do, is it? Suzuki clubbing blow to the back of Shamrock now. Going the back of him. Ooh, just dropping him across his knee. Now, I believe Suzuki's finishing move, it might be a sleeper hold. I know that sounds really simple, but I think it might be a sleeper hold, you know. I must admit, I've not seen Suzuki wrestle in a while. My mind has gone a little bit blank on that one. Shamrock fighting back and went for the diving back elbow, but Suzuki avoided it. It's just really back and forth match, this one now. Kick in the back by Suzuki on Shamrock. Don't forget, we have 1 more match left for you here this evening. 1 more match left of Shabbymania. And 1 more match left of SWE, bar, of course, our Royal Rumbles. And that match is going to be Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Suzuki can't believe it. He thought he had this one won there and then. Suzuki now bringing Shamrock back up to his feet. Well, Suzuki taking Shamrock up, looking for a power driver. He does. He hits a power driver on Ken Shamrock, and Shamrock looks rocked here. Suzuki dragging Shamrock away from the ropes. Big kick in the spine. And it's vicious, that, because that jolts your entire body, that kick in the spine. It's very uncomfortable. Suzuki now just stalking Shamrock around the ring. Boot in the face of Shamrock. And a knee strike right in the side of the head. Shamrock just forcing Suzuki away. And Shamrock trying to turn us around. He's taken some big moves over the last few minutes, though. It's going to take him a little bit to turn this one around, I think. And I thought he was going to go for the pin there, but no, he locks in the arm. He goes in for the arm bar and hooks the leg as well. So really just tensioning 2 parts of Suzuki's body at once. You're stretching out the thigh muscle and the shoulder as well. But Suzuki able to break free, but you see him holding on the arm straight away. Shamrock, big kick. Rocking Suzuki there. And I get to on the back once again. Oh, look at his kicks in the spine. Just dropping him in a backbreaker as well. Shamrock really starting to feel it now. He feels like it's starting to come into his side. Dropping a boot in the face once again of Suzuki. And now dropping a knee right in the back of the head. A boot in the back of the head again. And it's very back and forth, this one, isn't it? One guy controls it for a while, then Suzuki fighting back here. Just case in point, what I'm trying to say. Big overhand, and then no, Suzuki fighting back. Sorry, Shamrock fighting back on Suzuki. Elbow in the face and spinning heel kick on Suzuki as well. And Shamrock with a belly-to-belly suplex. Dropping a fist in the face of Suzuki. And now dropping these shoulders right into the trapezius. And the pressure point, you've got a pressure point in your shoulder there. It's very, very painful when Shamrock drops into the pin. Oh, it's a 2, but it's so close to a 3 already. Shamrock boot in the back of Suzuki. Another boot in the back of Suzuki again. Shamrock's really working on that back. I think he might try and go for that armbar again at some point. Maybe even an ankle lock. Completely misses that kick. And here he goes again, just dropping the elbows into the trapezius. It really bloody hurts that. I'm not going to lie to you, it really hurts. Leg drop by Shamrock, who's now in full control. It's really turned Shamrock's way recently. Shamrock just dragging Suzuki away from the ropes and then dropping a knee in the spine. Suzuki taking Shamrock down. Now Suzuki just trying to... I don't think he expects to get the win here. I think he's just trying to slow the match down and trying to get himself a few seconds. A few seconds just to try and get his energy back, because he's been brutalized quite a bit over the last few minutes. Oh, Shamrock with the strikes. Now taking Suzuki up into the powerbomb and stacks him up as well. 1, 2... Oh, kicked out, and now Shamrock just rolling Suzuki over into the Boston Crab, but it's very deep, that Boston Crab. Holding the legs a lot higher up, which means you bend the spine a lot more at a much more difficult position. It's difficult to hold that because of the, obviously, squatting the way you are. It's got to be very strong legs to do so. But Suzuki was able to break free, and Shamrock knows he needs to continue putting the pressure on Suzuki if he wants to get these all-important 15 ranking points here. There's the pin. 1, 2. And again, it's only a 2 count. Suzuki can't have much left in the locker, though. You see, each kick out he does put forward, it takes more and more out of him, and he puts less and less into them. Shamrock now dropping a boot right in the back of the thigh of Suzuki, and now dragging him away from the ropes. Are we going to see it? We do. No, thought we were going to see the ankle lock there, but no, just slamming on the back of the knee of Suzuki. I'd love to see Shamrock versus Lesnar. You know, I think that'd be an interesting matchup. That would be very interesting matchup, and who knows, maybe if we do a little UFC tournament, we could see that match. Shamrock again slamming on the back of the knee of Suzuki. Brings Suzuki up, but Shamrock gets caught with the elbow in the guts. Such back and forth strikes again. Suzuki booting the shin of Shamrock. Now takes Shamrock up. We saw this earlier on. Is it another pile driver? It is. Shamrock looks rocked by that pile driver. Just dropping him entire body weight on the neck. Just compressing the spine. But Suzuki not taking advantage yet. Big boots in the face of Shamrock. And big right hands, or left hand should I say, into the face of Shamrock as well. Suzuki needs to try and finish this one off. He hit a big pile driver there, and he hasn't gone for the pin. Which is a problem sometimes in this game. They don't like to win the match, do they, sometimes? Oh, another spiked DDT. Suzuki leaving Ken Shamrock face down the middle of the ring. But can he finish him off? Does he have what it takes to finish him off? So far, he's not had that big maneuver that could finish Shamrock off, but he's too busy taunting in the corner now. And that's, again, it's not a wise action at any point in the match. Because you've just given Ken Shamrock another 2 or 3 seconds to recuperate. And that could be enough to allow him to get back into this match. Just like that. Backbreaker there by Ken Shamrock on Suzuki. There's the pin once again by Shamrock. 1, 2. I get it's only a 2, but again, Shamrock just must know now that Suzuki's not got a lot left. Every single time he kicks out, it's just less and less and less behind it. Went for the kick of the spine, but Suzuki rolled out the way, and Shamrock rolled out the way, and there's Shamrock again. Belly to belly slam. There's the pin. 1, 2. And no! He's kicked out again. Shamrock can't believe it. I can't believe it. You've got to go for the armbar again, mate. That's the only thing I can suggest. There's the punch right in the face again of Suzuki by Shamrock now. Shamrock locking in the head scissors, just elbows right in the head of Suzuki. Just trying to open that wound more by the looks of it. A boot in the back. And Shamrock does finally go for that ankle lock, and Suzuki's very much central in the ring. Has enough damage been done to that part of the leg yet, though? It looks like Suzuki's surviving at the moment. Is he going to tap out, though? Is he going to tap out? No, he rolled it through. He rolled it through now. Catches Shamrock up into the pile driver. Suzuki, you've got to pin him now. You've got to pin him. He doesn't go for the pin. Why are you not pinning after such a high impact maneuver? That's twice now he's done that. I don't think Suzuki wants to win. There we go. He goes for the pin now, but has he left it too long? He has. He's left it too long. Come on, Suzuki. Your AI's me better than that. I know you're bleeding pretty heavily. You could be bloody concussed at this rate, but still. Come on. You've got to be more wise than this. You've got to realise that when your opponent's rocked, you've got to take advantage. And that's exactly what Suzuki didn't do here. Suzuki stalking Shamrock. A big knee in the face, then turn into a neck breaker. Going to go for the pin now. Thing is, whenever Suzuki's in control of the match, you don't feel like it's going to end because he doesn't seem to want to go for the big finish. He doesn't seem to have the end game plan. He seems to have a mid game plan, but nothing to, nothing big, nothing like a finish him style, sort of a Street Fighter style, whatever it was. Game like now. Mortal Kombat. Finish him. KO. Oh, octopus stretch. Maybe this could be enough, actually. Some damage has been done to the body of Shamrock, and Suzuki's really got that locked in, hooked across the whole body of Shamrock. That hurts so many parts of the body, this octopus stretch. But Shamrock able to break free, dropping him in a sidewalk slam, then just bouncing back up to his feet as if magic. Boot in the back of the leg there by Shamrock on Suzuki. Suzuki now dragging Shamrock away. So this is Shamrock dragging Suzuki away, should I say. Pin again by Shamrock. 1, 2. These two guys. It's just like the first video. Nobody wants to lose matches here, do they? Everyone knows how important it is to get the points on Carnage. And how important it is to get the points here in SWE, because you could be on a completely different brand in 2K18. And those points could really be make or break. There it is, the belly-to-belly slam once again. Pin him. He doesn't go for the pin. That's one of your big manoeuvres. Why are you not going for the pin? I don't know. I don't know. It's about these two guys. They just do not want to win this match. They want to just fight forever, don't they? Oh, here we go. Maybe Shamrock is in trouble here as Suzuki is stalking him. And there we go, locking in the sleeper hold, his finisher maneuver. Is this going to be enough to finish off Shamrock? He's fighting. But will those legs eventually go limp? And they do go limp. And Shamrock is out. And Minuro Suzuki gets the victory eventually. That was a long and hard fought match by both these guys. And it was Suzuki eventually pulls off the victory by KO, I suppose, technically. The referee finished this match. Shamrock did not tap out. The referee finished it off because Shamrock was knocked out. That sleeper hold was too much for him, just locking off the oxygen and the blood flow to the brain. And of course, if he holds it for too much longer, it can be a very dangerous maneuver. So the referee has to finish the match off for Ken Shamrock's own health there. But it was a very back and forth match. Both guys busted open. And Suzuki busted open heavily, actually, towards the end of that. And there was the pin by Shamrock earlier on, but of course it was only there for a 2 count. And there it is, you see the referee in a completely wrong position in fairness. And Shamrock eventually just goes limp. And the referee has to blow the whistle, or ring the bell if you will, just for the sake of Ken Shamrock. And Suzuki is victorious. Suzuki is going to get those all-important 15 ranking points that could force him into a championship picture. Where are you now then, old Suzuki? You are 115 already, so you made it to 130, which puts you 5th on the Carnage roster. But of course, where he ends up next year with those 130 points is yet to be known. And here we go, the main event of the evening time. Braun Strowman makes his first championship defense against Bray Wyatt. And here we go, the main event of the evening. Main event of Shabbymania Carnage. The last match of Shabbymania in WWE 2K17. And it is going to be headlined by Braun. Good old Braun Strowman. I'm looking forward to getting the proper Braun Strowman then on 2K18 now. We're going to get the Braun Strowman with his new movesets. We're probably going to boost up his stats because we want him to be dominant like he is in real life. And I don't think the game really sets that up that well. So I believe there's a new thing in 2K18 as well. I think I mentioned this in one of the previous videos. If you put somebody with low stats against someone with high stats, I don't know what the actual numbers would be. But someone with low stats versus someone with high stats, you will actually get a squash match, properly squash match. So that might be a cool way of introducing a few new people into the roster, or even putting over champions. And it might give James Ellsworth a nice little place to use on the card. You know, as you do. Oh. Alicia Fox has popped up on my Twitter to follow. I'll follow Alicia Fox. Got to follow our current Throwdown champion, haven't you? How can you not? So Bray Wyatt then, somebody who I think is very underutilized still in WWE. I think that he needs his one big break, and he should have got that big break by beating The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That would have been the official handing of the torch from the old era to the new era. We've seen other people do it in the past. The Rock did it with Cena. We've seen Hogan did it with The Rock. We've seen it in different aspects, but we've not seen it with The Undertaker. For me, what are you doing, Bray? What's up with your shoulders? Where's your neck gone? What is up with Bray? What's wrong with him? He's gone all weird. Yeah, for me, it never really... God, look at the... And they must be able to fix this as well. Fixing the old clipping through the belt, because that's just stupid as well. How they can't have one thing on top of another, I don't understand really, to be honest, but there you go. Yeah, for me, Bray would have been much more successful if he'd beaten The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Bray then would have had the mega push. Because let's face it, Reigns didn't need to beat The Undertaker. Brock Lesnar did not need to beat The Undertaker. Those two matches were not advantageous to anybody. Roman Reigns beating The Undertaker has done nothing for his move forward. It's made him more of a heel, which I don't think is what WWE were really intending to do. But it doesn't make sense, does it? None of it makes sense, in my opinion. Brock Lesnar has not gained at all by beating The Undertaker. Brock was already a big name, and he stayed a big name. If anything, he's actually gone off the boil recently more than anything. Roman Reigns, like I said, not really achieved anything big, not really elevated him up to the next level. Bray Wyatt, it would have been perfect for him. He could have not only defeated The Undertaker, but could have taken The Undertaker's powers. That would have been the idea. To take The Undertaker's powers, this whole thing of shooting lightning bolts across the arena like Taker used to back in the old days. If Bray Wyatt had got those sort of things and then just harnessing that power that The Undertaker passed on to him, that would have been the real... For me, that would have been the real good ending for The Undertaker. Maybe buried alive. Maybe Bray Wyatt could have buried The Undertaker. That would have been fantastic, I think, in my opinion. So we go then, Braun Strowman hands over the championship belt. Will it be the last time he hands it over? And will it be the closest that Bray Wyatt is going to get to it here this evening? Referee holds the belt up high. It is championship time now. Bray Wyatt said he was the man who brought Braun Strowman into the wrestling world. Said he created the monster. And he is the only one who can take the monster out that he created. Let's see if he's right. And straight away, taking Braun down with the SDO, and Bray knowing that weaponry is going to be his friend here. I think if it's a flat-on wrestling match one-on-one, Braun just is going to outpower Bray. But Bray is going to have to use all of his cunning. He's going to have to use all of his I've lost the words. I was going to say curiosity, but that's really the wrong word, isn't it? Use all of his cunning and all that sort of stuff to really to win this match. Really, I don't think if it, like I said, if it goes as a full-out fight, I think he's got no chance. But he's going to have to use his smarts. He's going to have to fight clever rather than fighting strong, because that's just not going to work against Braun Strowman. I don't think fighting fire with fire is the best situation here. You need to fight fire with water. And can Bray Wyatt find some water? I don't have to talk a lot of crap sometimes, don't I? You know. The moment Bray has not found any water at all, and the fire is really just starting to burn stronger and stronger. Oh, there's a little squirt. I'm shutting up now. I'm shutting up. I'm staying out of this. Now Bray once again looking to get a little bit of weaponry. But thing is, he's just getting the weapons he's getting are just too big, in my opinion. He's trying to pull out tables. He's trying to pull out ladders. None of it makes sense. You want to try and go for something more compact, like a sledgehammer, or a chair, or a kendo stick, something you'll be able to use to get some quick strikes in. Oh, Bray Wyatt slamming the face of Braun Strowman straight off the ring post. Dropping a boot right in the gut as well. And really wrenching the neck there, Bray Wyatt on Braun Strowman. And Bray Wyatt, yeah, the smartness has started to pay off a little bit, but he just got to use his speed as well. You saw him hit the speed there, caught Braun in the front chance before he had a chance to catch him. But now Braun, just taking Bray up, choke slam on the outside. Wow. The thing is, it's just that. That's all it takes for Braun to really just turn you around, slam him Bray face first into the mat on the outside and a boot in the back as well. Braun bringing Bray back up to his feet, and now big clothesline taking Bray down. Elbow drop to the heart of Bray there by Braun. Braun brings Bray back up. Back into the ring. Maybe Strowman thinks he's got a chance of finishing Bray off soon. Remember, this is the no DQ match as always. No disqualifications, no countouts, but pinfalls and submissions have to take place in the ring, which is probably why Braun has brought Bray back in. Just clubbing straight across the chest of Bray there. I'm getting mixed my Brauns and Brays now. Big knee right on the side of the face of Bray. Just seems spin there as he got caught. Braun is really now in control. And the thing is, once you've got a big man like Braun Strowman in control of you, it's so difficult to turn this one around. But Bray there, able to do it. Oh, headbutt. Headbutt by Bray Wyatt on Braun Strowman. Dropping a boot in the gut as well. And Braun just using his strength once again to get back in control of this one. Boot in the arm of Bray Wyatt, and Braun slamming the right hand in the face and slamming him face first into the mat as well. Braun Strowman stalking Bray Wyatt. This could be bad for Bray. This could be the beginning of the end. Onto the shoulder he goes. There's the running power slam. Braun Strowman with a pin. 1, 2, and 3. And it looks like the man who created the monster has not realized just how much power that monster has. That monster has spiraled out of control to the point where Braun Strowman may be unstoppable. But I tell you what, I've got some ideas. I've got some plans for SWE, and I've got a cracking match planned for the first pay-per-view in Carnage. Should I get the roster that I've sort of penciled in, I've got a fantastic match scheduled for the first Shabbymania, the first SWE pay-per-view for Carnage in SWE 2K18. But there we go. That is your last match of Shabbymania. Braun Strowman, unsurprisingly, keeps a hold of the Carnage Championship and guarantees himself a place on the Carnage roster. Well, guys, that's the end of this video, the end of Shabbymania Carnage, and the end of Shabbymania in general. I hope you have enjoyed this week of shows. Of course, if you have, please do slam the like button. And, of course, if you're not already, then please hit that subscribe button as well. Remember, we do have the Rumbles coming up for you, which will probably be this weekend. We'll probably start them off. It's going to be one a day, I should imagine. Because if we do too many in one day, we're going to have a big gap between the Rumbles finishing and the beginning of 2K18. So, yeah, hopefully you're going to start those on tomorrow, maybe. On Saturday, we'll have the first one up, Mayhem. And then we'll have, of course, Octane on Sunday, Throwdown on Monday, Adrenaline Tuesday, Carnage Wednesday, and then we're looking to get the draft uploaded for 2K18 on the Friday. So do keep an eye out for all of that. It's going to be seamless, hopefully, in from one to the other. Like I said, after the draft, we're going to have random matches for a few days, I think, just to try and keep on top of things. And then once we've got everything sorted and ready to go, hopefully by the weekend after release, we will have our first episode of Mayhem go live. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon for the Rumbles. Yeah, the Rumbles, is that what they're called? The Draft Immunity Rumbles? I don't know, something on them lines. Bye! What a babbling finish.